Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome Charles Phillips.
Wow. Well, welcome to Open World. Thank you for coming. And let me say, this is the most exciting time of the year at Oracle. And the reason that is because we have thousands of developers working on enhancements and new products all year long. And this is the 1 week we get to show you everything, to get your feedback, get your validation. And I can't just describe to you the energy level at Oracle leading up to this week. The entire cadence of the company is kind of synced around this one day, coming here and talking to you. So thank you for being here. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of exciting news to update you on. We get bigger and better every year, so it's more to talk about. We're going to try to get it all in across all of our product segments. So let me give you an idea of what we've been doing. It's been a year of innovation. That's what we thrive on. That's our core business, is innovating and bringing you new technology every year. So if you look at all the enhancements across thousands of products, nearly 3,000 products now, let me give you a sense of what we've been doing and how we've been investing. So we will invest this year, our fiscal year, about $3 billion in pure research and development on products that you own and use that run your business every day. $3 billion. That's across 20,000 developers. Those developers have access to about 30,000 servers. Every night at Oracle, we run 300,000 test scripts. An enormous amount of products. Look at the major product segments. We deliver each year about 4,000 enhancements to our applications, about 500 enhancements to our database, and about 2,000 enhancements to our middleware suite. And a lot of those are on display this week for you to see in the demo grounds. We expect to deliver new enhancements and innovations forever. That's what we do for a living. So this goes on and on and on. And the result of all that is we're number one in 40 different product segments in enterprise software. And we are the largest enterprise software company in the world. So thanks to you for investing with us and relying on us. We'll be able to take that investment that you've given us year after year after year and put it right back into the product. That's where it goes. We now have 1,200 patents. And the product line is approaching 3,000 products. So thank you for that. In addition to that investment, which is enormous in people and in products and in infrastructure, there's a second way to bring in innovation inside of Oracle and deliver it to you. So the second way we do that is with acquisitions. So over the last 5 years, we've made 50 acquisitions in 4 to 4 months. Been a little busy. We spent $34 billion over that time frame, finding innovation in the industry that we thought could add value to your environments and solve a specific problem, bringing it inside of Oracle, adding additional value to that, and delivering it to you as a solution. Before we started the acquisition strategy, before PeopleSoft, for example, we had about 40,000 employees. Now we have 85,000 employees, and 1 out of every 3 Oracle employees came via acquisition. So we have a lot of experts with a different background from different industries, from different technology skills that makes Oracle better so we can solve your problems better. So that's what's been going on. And speaking of acquisitions, these are the ones that we've done since the last Open World. So some of you are new to Oracle, so these 9 are more recent. Let me especially welcome the BEA customers because that's the largest one we've done in the last year. Special note is BEA World, their own conference they used to have last year, they had 1,500 attendees, and we're happy to say that we have 1,500 attendees this year from BEA at this conference. So we didn't lose anyone. You're part of the family now. Thank you for being here. So let's get started. Talking about our product categories, what our strategy is, and what we want to do is update you on each major category, what happened over the last year briefly, but more importantly, what's new and what's our strategy, those 3 concepts in each one of these areas. So for those of you who may be newer to Oracle, we are in three basic businesses, and they are the three categories that make up enterprise software, the three categories where most of you spend your time every day. Database, where we started, we're still the leader, and we're expanding our lead. Managing information, it's a family of database products now. Middleware, of course, a set of services and products to allow you to build and deploy and administer applications. These are the services applications need to run. Things like identity management, portals, etc. A broad suite of products. We're number one in that business now. And then there is the packaged applications business. Business processes that we've already prepackaged. Some are for the back office and administrative like ERP. Some are for customer facing like CRM. And then we have a growing number of products that are business operational in the sense that they are unique to a certain industry or industry applications. Those are the three foundational technologies that we've been in for many years. We're broadening our product line in each one of them every year. And then there's a layer of infrastructure underneath those to support them, to lower the cost of computing and make it more reliable. Things like the Linux operating system, virtualization, that infrastructure there, we're trying to lower the cost of computing and enable these other three categories. So that's what we're going to talk about. So to give you some sense of scale and size, last year, our fiscal year 08, we did $22.4 billion. That was 25% growth. And that's at the same time period when many similar sized companies in technology, certainly in software, were shrinking. And so we continue to do well. Over the last year, our stock is up 18%. I wish it was more, but 18%, I'll take that in this environment especially. And over the last 3 years, 78% growth in our stock. So we're doing okay thanks to your support again. So let me summarize our strategy at a high level, and then we can drill down and see how that applies to those three categories. But you've seen this slide before, hopefully. If you haven't and you're new to Oracle, you can always describe what we're doing with these three words: complete, open, and integrated. So let me describe why we're doing that and give you a backdrop of what problem we're trying to solve and how those three words apply to everything we do. So if you look at what our customers are dealing with every day and what you've told us, you have a complex environment, extremely complex. Applications that were built by different companies, different developers, in an era where there weren't standards. Layers and layers of technology built up over many years. Applications and infrastructure not designed to work together. Engineers that have no reason to talk to each other in different companies, they're not going to build infrastructure and applications that magically talk to each other. That's how this happened. And on your side of it, a lot of these decisions were made over many years, decentralized in some fashion, made for many different reasons. But the reality is, this is where a lot of our companies are. Very complex environment, very fragmented, different technologies that lasted over the years. So if you look at this as an engineer, what do? Well, the first thing you say is, well, these products are never going to interoperate and work with each other if you don't control some of these components, if you don't have an architecture, if you don't have standards. So the first thing we try to do is, to get control of some of these components, let's add some value and some standards around this so we have some predictable performance and interfaces between them. That's why we had to get bigger and broader. Part of the acquisition strategy, all the investments we're making, let's control some of these components and so we can develop certain standards around them. Once we own more of them, then we can start to add some value. Let's standardize it more. For us, that means internet standards or web services. Let's build interfaces into these products, so interfaces that can be registered into a repository so these services can be called. And so it's now possible for these components to communicate through a standards-based web service. And then the third thing we want to do that it's open, and it can be open not just for Oracle products, but between third-party products as well, as long as we have the same standards, internet standards and web services. Other applications can call our applications. So now we have some structure and order. Now there's an architecture. So the third thing we want to do now that that's in place is let's actually build some of the integration between these components ourselves, especially the ones that we own. So let's use those same standards and web services to build the integration between these components and deliver it out of the box from the factory with those integrations in place. So you don't have to do that or hire someone else to do that. So complete, so we can control some of the components and add some value. Open, so you have some standards for communication between the components, between our products and third-party products. And then integrated, so we can reduce the amount of integration you have to do it in a standards-based way, out of the box, instead of hiring a bunch of consultants to do that for you. That's the way you get control of this complexity problem. Otherwise, if we continue to do the same things we've always done, we'll probably get the same result. Hard to change this environment, hard to extend it, hard to support the business, because the infrastructure is taking up 90% of your dollars just doing maintenance of a very complex environment. This is the only way to solve that problem that we know of. Engineer some architecture into this environment. That's what we're doing, complete, open, and integrated. So that strategy has resulted in a lot of success for Oracle, as I showed you some of the numbers earlier. So we are now a leader in very many markets, key markets around the world in enterprise software. If you go back probably 5 years ago, the only thing you could say for sure that we were a leader in was probably database and maybe data warehousing. Fast forward to today, because of those investments, because of the strategy, because of the acquisitions, we are a leader in many, many segments of enterprise software, as you see here. #1 middleware company, the #1 CRM company, many industries we lead in as well. So being a leader is important to Oracle because what it does is it allows us to invest more in the products. Software is one of those funny businesses. It's a fixed cost business, and so the more customers and scale you have, you can amortize those costs across more customers. You can actually charge less while you invest more. So the person who wins in software is usually the person with a lot of scale. So that's what we've been doing, investing, getting larger, and it helps you as well. It helps us and it helps you. So being a leader is a cultural thing for us. We want to be #1 in every market that we compete in, and it's a good thing for you and for us. But we're not the only ones who like to be leaders. We like to meet other leaders because it's inspirational. So let me pause for a second and introduce someone who's also committed to excellence, 14-time gold medalist, Olympian, Michael Phelps. So something like 8 gold medals and one Olympics.
Yeah, it was a fun week, I guess you could say. It was exciting. Yeah, a lot of really good times.
Yeah, well, it's hard to imagine the dedication, the hard work it took to do all that. So we have a lot of people who work very hard every day as well in training for what we do. So basically we have developers who, their training regimen is to come in every day very early, say 10 a.m. They have this rigorous diet, like I'm sure you do. Usually it's cold pizza and coffee or something cold. And then they work to midnight doing wonderful things for the customers we have here. Can you kind of describe your regimen? Is it something like that?
I think 10 a.m. is when I'm getting back into bed.
Oh.
No, I go from, I started about 7:30, dive in the water. It's probably the hardest part, is getting into the water, because you get out of a warm bed, and it's the last thing you want to do is jump into a cold pool. So, jump in the water at 7:30, eat a little something, nothing major beforehand, and then afterwards, just chow down until I'm absolutely full on eggs, pancakes. I'm sure you've all heard about what the diet. And then hop back into bed, take a 3-4 hour nap, wake up, have some lunch, go back to the pool, another 2 or 3 hours in the water, lift some weights, and go home and sleep, or eat and do it all again. So it's pretty easy. Eat, sleep, and swim. What else can you do?
I see a lot of my developers nodding, programming. So we have about 43,000 people here at Open World Level. Maybe it's a little bit less than what you performed in front of, something like that.
Well, I mean, if you count TV, yes, but I've never been in front of this many people, so first time.
Yeah, well, something like 4 billion people saw you. look at what it took for you to get there, you have 8 gold medals, enormous amount of awards, but Oracle has some awards as well, a little bit different, so I just wanted you to know that we're striving to be #1, just the way you are, and it's a good thing to be that committed to excellence. So I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of Oracle and on behalf of the country. You really inspired everyone and got everybody excited about the 11th. Great performance.
Thank you. Yeah, it was, I said it all along where I wanted to do something that no one else had ever done before. And I said that pretty much from day one, and again, I've been swimming since I was 7, so it's taken quite a few years to be able to accomplish that, and there's nothing better than being able to really accomplish your lifetime dream and goal.
Great. Well, in that commitment to excellence, we all respect. So Michael's going to come back doing the NetApps presentation. He has a few awards and some prizes to give out for you. So he'll be back on stage shortly, but I just wanted to give him a quick introduction and thank him in front of all of you. Thanks again, Michael.